Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for our webinar this afternoon titled Make a Real Economic Impact. My name is Michael Rausch, and I am with the National Disability Institute. I'm the director of the Real Economic Impact Network. Before we get started with today's webinar, I would like to turn it over to my colleague, Nakia Matthews, who's going to provide us some webinar housekeeping tips. Nakia?
Thank you, Michael. The audio for today's webinar is being broadcast through your computer. Please make sure that your speakers are turned on and your headphones are plugged in. You can control the audio broadcast via the audio broadcast panel. And if you accidentally close this panel or the sound becomes muted, you can reopen the audio broadcast by going to Communicate and then Join Audio Broadcast. If you do not have sound capabilities on your computer, or if you prefer to listen by phone, you can dial the toll or toll-free number that you see here and enter the meeting code. Please note that you do not need to enter an attendee ID. Real-time captioning is provided during this webinar. The captions can be found in the Media Viewer panel, which appears in the lower right-hand corner of the webinar platform. If you would like to make the Media Viewer panel larger, you can do so by minimizing some of the other panels like chat or Q&A, and conversely, if you do not need the captions, you can minimize the Media Viewer panel. We will have time for questions at the end of the webinar. Please use the chat box or the Q&A box to send any questions that you may have during the course of the webinar to either me, Nakia Matthews, or to Michael Rausch, and we will answer those questions during the Q&A portion. If you are listening by phone only and not logged into the web portion, you may also ask questions by emailing them directly to Michael at mrausch@ndei-inc.org. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and that the materials will be placed on the NDI website. If you experience any technical difficulties during this webinar, please use the chat box to send me a message, or you may also email me at nmatthews@ndei-inc.org.
Great. Thank you so much, Nakia. So for those of you who are new with us today and new to the National Disability Institute, I would like to share with you a little bit of information about NDI. So the National Disability Institute is a national research and development organization based in Washington, D.C., and our mission is to promote income preservation and asset development for persons with disabilities and to build a better economic future for Americans with disabilities. For today's webinar, we want to share information with you on NDI's Real Economic Impact Network. This past fall and winter, the National Disability Institute surveyed our Real Economic Impact Network members to get some feedback from our members to find out what are the services that they're providing, how do they define their organization, and to really look at what are the tools, resources, or services that they need to be able to further advance the opportunities for persons with disabilities to build their financial wellness within their organization. And so today we're going to share information with you on the survey results. We're also going to share some updates on the Real Economic Impact Network and what it will be providing in 2015. We're also going to share with you some programs, resources, and tools offered by the National Disability Institute. One of the things that we had found in our survey was that network members wanted to know more about the services or the programs that the National Disability Institute provides. And so we are going to share some of that information with you today. We also will have time for questions and answers at the end of the webinar. Before we do get started, I would like to thank several of my colleagues who have assisted with this webinar, but also assist in helping to make a real economic impact for persons with disabilities and support our network members across the country. First, I'd like to thank Nakia Matthews, who is part of our communications team and our technology guru. Also, Kathy Brannigan, our Director of Communications, Dominic Manaki, who is our Communications Specialist. But I also would like to thank our training and technical assistance team, who many of you may have interacted with. And though they're not on the webinar to present today, I wanted to take a moment to recognize their hard work that they provide day in and day out. And those members are Kevin Nickerson, Mary Lynn Revar, Lori Shaler, Katie Metz, Jamie Robinson, Miranda Kennedy, Nancy Buteau, and my colleague Elizabeth Jennings, who you will be hearing from in just a little bit. So I wanted to be sure to give a shout out to each of them for their support with the Real Economic Impact Network. So looking at the Real Economic Impact Network, some of you might be wondering, what exactly is the Real Economic Impact Network? You might be familiar with the Real Economic Impact Tour. And so I want to share some information with you on the REI Network. So National Disability Institute's Real Economic Impact Network is an alliance of organizations and individuals dedicated to a common mission. And that common mission is the economic advancement of people with disabilities. A key piece of the REI network is the power of collaboration at the local level, regional level, state level, and at the national level. And the network partners and members make up more than 4,500 individuals and organizations across the country who are working to embed disability-inclusive practices to advance the economic empowerment and financial capability for all people with disabilities. So looking at a bit of the history and how the REI network came about. So the Real Economic Impact Network expanded the reach of the Real Economic Impact Tour that was originally established in 2005 with our amazing partners at the Internal Revenue Service. And the Real Economic Impact Tour started by going to 11 cities to work to improve access and increase the number of individuals who access the Earned Income Tax Credit, particularly looking at low-income taxpayers with disabilities. Over the years, the Real Economic Impact Tour expanded to over 100 cities by 2011 and diversified its support beyond free tax preparation and the Earned Income Tax Credit. In the winter and spring of 2012-2013, the next generation of the Real Economic Impact Tour became known as the Real Economic Impact Network to be all-inclusive of NDI's key strategies. And those key strategies are public benefits and work supports, employment, free tax preparation services, financial education, and asset development. And so the Real Economic Impact Network encompasses all of those different components. As I mentioned, in 2015, our network members and partners are located in all 50 states, and over 4,500 members are working to make a real economic impact for persons with disabilities. So who are our network members? Out of our survey, what we've identified is that 73% of members define their organizations as a nonprofit. That also includes faith-based, community-based organizations, as well as educational entities. Our members include community tax coalitions, asset development organizations, financial education initiatives, corporations and private sector businesses, federal, state, local government and agencies, as well as individuals with disabilities and their families. So the Real Economic Impact Network is a diverse audience of organizations as well as individuals coming together to build a better economic future for persons with disabilities. I think it's important to note that individuals with disabilities and their families are also a part of the Real Economic Impact Network. Although our services at times may be geared directly more to the service professional, service provider, or the systems level piece, it's very valuable for us to have the voice of individuals with disabilities as well as their families. As we looked at our network members and looked at where they're providing services, we found that, and sorry that on the current slide you're looking at, that the values did not populate, I guess, as we put this on the website or on WebEx, so sorry about that. But looking at this pie chart that we have here and the makeup of our members and where they're providing services, we found that 45% are providing service at the local level, 25% are providing services at the regional level, 21% are providing services at the state level, and 9% are providing services at the national level. One of the big takeaways for us in looking at this is looking at a large number of our network members are providing service at the local level, providing services to the end user. And that's really important for us, and we really value their insight and the information that they can provide, and really looking at what services, what tools do they need that we can provide to support them in their efforts. I think Policy Link says it very well, and I quote them quite often, but they talk about how local leaders are national leaders, and we feel that as well when it comes to the Real Economic Impact Network, to be able to get the tools and resources that the local, regional, and state level need to be able to provide services. As we looked further at the survey data to identify who is the primary audience that individuals or that members provide service to, 82% had identified that they provide services to persons with disabilities. In addition to identifying persons with disabilities, they were able to identify other markets or other audiences that they serve. And so we found that 60% shared that they also serve the general population. 46% shared that they serve veterans. 40% shared that they provide services primarily to the African American community. 37% primary target audience are to the Native American community, and 36% identify that they support individuals or persons who identify themselves as Asian and or Pacific Islanders. This is really valuable information for us to be able to look at how we can diversify even more the information, the services that we can provide or our network can provide to diverse audiences. And so as we look and analyze this in the coming year, we will be looking at how we can better serve diverse audiences. As I mentioned at the beginning, one of the key pieces of the Real Economic Impact Network is regarding collaboration. And we wanted to find out if our network members are part of the local or state level coalitions. We believe it's really important to become engaged in those local conversations that are taking place. 59% share that they are not a part of the local asset development, tax, or financial education coalition, and 74% share that they are not a part of a statewide asset development coalition, tax, or financial education coalition. And the majority of the respondents share that they would like to become involved with one or the other if they exist in their local or state areas. To us, as we look at this, we want to make sure that network members are connected to those local coalitions if they aren't. Later on in the webinar, you're going to find out that we've created a specific email address just for you to be able to ask questions as well as get connected. So if you're interested in being connected with your local and or state coalition, if you're not already, please be sure to reach out to us, and we can assist in hopefully making some connections if there is a coalition that exists in your area. Again, the other piece that makes this really important is that oftentimes we might hear from an asset building, tax, or financial education coalition that they need additional information on how to increase outreach to the disability community, or they need disability awareness training, or they might have questions on where to add VITA sites. And so by having the disability community be a part of these local coalitions, we can definitely bring the voice of the disability community to these coalitions and to be able to support their efforts that they're doing in their local and state, their local communities as well as their states. Really quickly, before I get into the pieces on additional some of the tools and resources, I want to share some additional findings about the survey, from the survey. So we learned that our network members want more information from trusted resources, and we appreciate that they identified the National Disability Institute as one of those trusted resources. We also found that they would like more webinars and other learning opportunities. Our webinar series, the feedback that we received is that some of our topics are very out of the box when it comes to building the financial wellness of persons with disabilities. And so shortly you're going to hear about our upcoming webinars, and we have some great ones coming up. So we'll continue to offer webinars. Again, our network members share they want stronger connection with others in the field, and so we're working to identify those opportunities. A piece that we were a bit surprised by the overwhelming response to this is that we found that our network members are thirsty, or they really want more resources, trainings, and information on public policy. And we're excited to hear that news. And so we're also going to make a stronger effort this year to provide a connection to that public policy network at the National Disability Institute. Another piece of the survey findings was that our marketing approach of our services, our tools and resources needs some work. And we greatly appreciate that feedback from you all, and we want to hear more from you on how we can do that better. The other piece that was an interesting finding is that the majority of our network members refer services when it comes to financial well-being or wellness strategies out to other organizations, but they want to learn more about how do we integrate services. And so we're going to be doing a special learning series specifically on steps you can take about integrating services. We're also going to share with you some other programs at the National Disability Institute that are doing a great job of integrating services. So our approach to addressing the needs identified in the survey. So first of all, we found that there was some confusion amongst members who were part of the Real Economic Impact Tour, who thought that they were not a part of the Real Economic Impact Network, or they didn't fully understand, are they a member or they're a partner? So our team came together to really look at this and explore what this might look like. And so there's two areas of membership within or way that individuals or organizations can join the Real Economic Impact Network. So first of all, a member, let's look at the definitions for each. So first of all, a Real Economic Impact Network member is an individual who supports the economic advancement of people with disabilities, and they share a same vision that persons with disabilities can and want to work and save and build assets. And it's free to join to access the resources that are available, and we're going to share more of that with you in just a minute. Now, when we look at the Real Economic Impact Network partner, network partner is an organization that supports the economic advancement of people with disabilities, and it's also free to join as a partner, but a partnering organization will receive some additional items as well, and I'll share that information with you in just a minute. So as a network member, if you're not already a member, you're going to have information at the end on how to sign up. But if you are a member, members receive access to a growing network, including access to leaders in the field of economic advancement strategies for persons with disabilities. Again, it goes back to the key piece of collaboration, where we want to be able to connect local, regional, and state level partners or members with key resources and partners that they want to connect with. You have access to technical assistance from National Disability Institute staff. You also have access to resources and tools on public benefits and work supports, employment, free tax preparation, financial literacy, as well as asset development. monthly webinar series, monthly newsletter, public policy updates, as well as professional networking opportunities. So as an REI Network partner, to become a partner, there's a few things that you have to agree to. As a member, you sign up and you're a part of that as an individual. But if you'd like to be listed, if your organization would like to be listed as an REI Network partner, you have to make a commitment to complete an annual survey. Your organization has to commit to promote one or more financial well-being strategy, whether that's free tax preparation services or offering MyFreeTaxes, providing financial education, or other asset building strategies. And for non-disability organizations, you make a commitment to provide disability awareness training to your staff and or include the disability community in outreach efforts such as VITA outreach or financial coaching programs. If your organization is interested in becoming an REI Network partner, you'll have an email address shortly that you will be able to respond to, or you can go to our website and sign up. And if you're not sure if you meet the different qualifications to become an REI Network partner as an organization, then send us an email and we'll be able to provide additional information to you. So as an REI Network partner, you get all of the information or access to the same benefits as an REI Network member. You also get an official certificate stating that your organization is a REI Network partner. You get to use the National Disability Institute's logo on your website, designating you as an REI Network partner. Your organization's name is placed on NDI's REI Network webpage, as well as it's highlighted in our monthly newsletter. Partnership opportunities, there's also possible partnership opportunities in various NDI programs, grants, as well as demonstration projects. Also, our communications team has graciously offered to provide access to newsletter articles that you can use in your organization's newsletters as well. So that provides you a little bit more information on what it means to be a REI Network partner, which it's the organization that is the partner. So another key piece that we had found from the survey that we needed to do is we needed to create an advisory committee made up of local and state leaders to provide guidance and direction on the Real Economic Impact Network. And this advisory committee will be comprised of no more than 12 individuals representing state and local organizations and agencies, as well as regional agencies. And this advisory committee will provide insight on how to strengthen collaboration, determine the approach to share best practices, as well as provide insight on strategies, tools, and resources that the Real Economic Impact Network can provide to our over 4,500 members. And here is a list of our current advisory committee members. We have left 2 spots open to the advisory committee specifically after this webinar, because if you are interested to possibly look at joining the advisory committee, we would encourage you to send me an email with your name, bio, as well as your organization, and then we'll take that information back to the committee to be able to identify 2 additional members to join the committee this year. We felt that it was really important as we came to this webinar today that we gave others the opportunity to potentially join. So if you're interested, please feel free to send me an email and we can discuss it further. We will definitely continue our monthly webinar series as well as create a special learning session on specific topics identified by network partners. Our next webinar will be with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, specifically looking at their report on defining financial well-being. What does financial well-being mean, and how can we use this information within the disability community to better serve individuals? Our May 13th webinar will be on money and stress, and this will be on key findings from the American Psychological Association, who will be providing us also key tips on how we can use this information to better understand the financial needs of the clients we serve and how we can better serve them during those stressful times related to money. Then our June webinar will be on the ABLE Act and provide an overview of that current legislation that passed in December, and the National Disability Institute will be presenting this. So after this webinar, we really are looking at what are those national partners or local partners, those best practices that you want to hear from that we can bring to you to provide more information. So we have our webinar series topics identified till June. So if you have additional topics you would like us to consider, please feel free to send that information in as well. We also will be creating the learning series, which would be specific webinars that will go deeper on specific topics that our partners have asked for. And CEUs will be offered pending approval. It was another piece that our partners had asked for. So in the spring, we'll be offering Introduction to Financial Wellbeing Strategies for Persons with Disabilities. And this will be the Basics 101 information for those who want to have your staff be trained on how they can incorporate financial wellbeing strategies into their system. Our summer series will be on Public Policy 101, a how-to guide, and in the fall, it will be exploring and understanding credit even further. And we'll be partnering with the Credit Builders Alliance on that particular webinar. The other piece that we'll be looking at this in the coming year is to strengthen opportunities for collaboration amongst REI Network members and partners. And this would be a task that the advisory committee will be looking at. But in the meantime, we have established a LinkedIn group to assist in building the collaboration amongst members and partners. And to join our page, go to LinkedIn and type in National Disability Institute, and then it will give you the option of a group, and you can click that one, and you can join our LinkedIn group and be a part of the conversation. As I mentioned earlier about one of our key findings is that partners weren't aware of our tools, resources, and projects that are offered or that are available to network members and partners. And so this is really the key piece to this webinar and this part is to identify what are those and to introduce those to you. Please note that as I'm going through these, I'm providing a snapshot of each. Each of you are going to receive an email after the webinar, I believe it's going out tomorrow, that will provide links to each of these different items, so you will be able to access them that way, and you'll have it all in one email. So some of these items that are available are NDI's online classroom, VacSuits, our e-newsletter, as well as technical assistance. So first of all, a large number of our audience didn't know that NDI has an online classroom. This online classroom includes free courses on disability awareness, public benefits, and asset development strategies. Some of the courses include disability awareness, steps to achieving my American dream, which is specifically created for self-advocates, as well as the changing face of public benefits. The Changing Face of Public Benefits online course was created for the state of Florida specifically, so it does have some specific information for the state of Florida, but the majority of the information is based on the federal rules. So please feel free to check that out, and these are free courses that you can access. And to learn more about it, you can go to our website, go to Resources, and click on NDI Online Classroom. Also, NDI has created fact sheets and effective strategy handouts on a variety of topics, including EITC interaction with public benefits, how to create a financial education program in your classroom, managing accommodation requests, people first language, and a whole lot more. And these handouts are a great tool for case managers, job coaches, employment specialists, therapists, counselors to be able to access and to share information with the clients they serve. Or if you're providing staff training on particular topics, there are some great tools there that you can access to be able to complement the training that you provide. And you can access these materials all on our website at realeconomicimpact.org. We also provide 2 newsletters a month. The one is the REI Network News, and this is a monthly e-newsletter that highlights the latest tools and resources to help persons with disabilities build their financial well-being. I encourage you to take a look at this monthly newsletter each month. And the reason that I encourage you to look at it is because the newsletter is broken down into 5 key areas, which are NDI's 5 key strategies that we focus on: public benefits and work supports, employment, free tax preparation services, financial education, and asset development. Our training and technical assistance teams comes together and identifies what are those best resources that our partners need under each of those different categories. So each month this provides you with an updated tool, maybe from NDI. It could be one of our partners' resources. It could be a best practice. It could be a webinar. It could be free financial education programs that you can access. It's just a variety of tools that you can access that will help build the financial wellness of individuals that you serve. Our second newsletter that is offered is the Washington Insider, and this is our monthly newsletter that highlights key federal policy news that impacts the financial futures and economic empowerment of all people with disabilities. This provides a lot of valuable information, again, on public policy, and so I encourage you to take a look at that each month as well. As a member of the network, you automatically will receive these newsletters each month. The final thing that I wanted to share is to highlight that we provide technical assistance, and members of the Real Economic Impact Network can receive one-on-one technical assistance with a dedicated team of training and technical assistance experts through a dedicated email address that we have set up specifically for you all. That email for the REI Network, that email address is ask@ndi-inc.org. Again, that's ask@ndi-inc.org. So if you have a question, if you're looking for a tool, a resource, or want to be connected to the local or state coalitions in your area to further advance the work that you're doing to build the financial wellness of persons with disabilities, you can use this email address to access an NDI team member. So one of the other things that's really important that we found from our partners is that in addition to the technical assistance and the resources and tools that we have, they wanted to know what are the other NDI programs offered by the National Disability Institute that partners as well as members can potentially access or learn from these different projects. And so with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Elizabeth Jennings, who would like to share information on NDI's programs and provide you an overview. Elizabeth, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Hey, thanks so much, Michael. I just want to make sure folks can hear me on my headset.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be with you today, and I just want to give a thank you to Michael Rausch for leading us in this effort to create better engagement with each of you as members of the REI Network, and to help to clarify some of what the tools, the many, many tools we can offer you, and the different programs that we have. So National Disability Institute, for anybody on the line who's new, has a mission to create a better economic future for people with disabilities. We are the first and currently the only national nonprofit organization that's dedicated exclusively to building a roadmap to greater economic stability for individuals with disabilities. We do that in a number of ways through public education, pioneering projects that we're going to talk about, and demonstrations, through public policy, and through customized training and technical assistance activities. And we do our best to make sure that members of the community, such as yourselves, at all levels, at the national level, the state level, the local level, and of course the personal level, individuals with disabilities and their families, that everybody has as much access to the different tools that we're creating and to participating in the different projects that we offer. So I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to go over some of the programs that we offer and to invite you to reach out to us if there's an opportunity that you see that you'd like to take part in, and we can see how we might develop our relationship even further. So the first project we want to make sure you're aware of is MyFreeTaxes. As everybody knows, it's tax time, and MyFreeTaxes creates an opportunity for people to complete both their federal and state taxes at no cost through MyFreeTaxes.com. This project is a national initiative that's led by 3 nonprofits: United Way, Goodwill Industries International, and National Disability Institute. It's sponsored by the Walmart Foundation and receives support from H&R Block, who provides the MyFreeTaxes platform. MyFreeTaxes partners with more than 1,000 community, nonprofit, and faith-based organizations, and I would gather to guess that some of you on the line are providing MyFreeTaxes services. But if you're not, there's a community of partners that you can register with to participate. It's at the website affiliate.myfreetaxes.com. That's a portal where you can find information and resources to help you promote and implement MyFreeTaxes. You know, we're in the middle of the tax season now, so if you decide that maybe this year isn't the right year, you're welcome to register and take a look, and perhaps next year is when you might launch your own MyFreeTaxes initiative, and we'd be happy to talk to you about how to partner on that. If you have any questions at all about MyFreeTaxes, we have a special email for you. It's partners@myfreetaxes.com. But I really encourage you to check out the affiliate portal and to even log on and use myfreetaxes.com. This is not just for individuals with disabilities. This is for anybody who's earning, oh gosh, Michael, help me if I'm doing it wrong, or Nakia, I think it's around $58,000 or less this year, and forgive me for not being specific on that.
60,000.
Yes, 60,000. Thanks, you guys. Can't know everything. So $60,000 or less, so that would be many of us working in the field at multiple levels, and so it's not just for those that are being served by the great programs and services that you all provide, but also for those who are working in our organizations. The next project is the Disability Employment Initiative, and this project is funded by the Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration, as well as the Department of Labor Office of Disability Employment Policy. Forgive me, I totally blanked there for a second. Forgive me, partners at ODEP. So this project targets states. It provides funding to states to build the public workforce system's ability to provide job-seeking services to individuals with disabilities through their American Job Center network. So in your local area, they may not be called American Job Centers. They may be called workforce centers or even one-stop centers. The Department of Labor has recommended name changes a few times, so it just depends on your local area. But over time, the Department of Labor has awarded over $70 million to 26 states to provide disability employment initiative services, all with the ultimate goal of improving the employment outcomes of youth and adults with disabilities. It's a really great opportunity if you haven't connected to your disability employment initiative to explore what they're doing. Many have implemented things including Ticket to Work and financial stability strategies as part of their DEI initiatives. So that's a partnership that could be beneficial to you. And if you'd like to find out more about this, again, as Michael Roush noted, please feel free to reach out to us. Also funded by the Department of Labor Office of Disability Employment Policy is NDI's LEAD Center. The LEAD Center is a collaborative of disability, workforce, and economic empowerment organizations who have all come together to help provide training and technical assistance to the field to advance both individual and systems level change around 3 targeted areas, really. It's integrated employment, economic self-sufficiency, and public policy to improve both of those areas. So the LEAD Center has its own website, leadcenter.org, and there you will find a host of trainings that we've done, archive webinars around specific subjects like customized employment and financial stability strategies, and the new Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which is paramount to understanding how the public workforce system is going to be providing services over the next several years. The next project is called the Financial Success Collaborative, and this is led expertly by Michael Roush here on our team. The Financial Success Collaborative works to provide really a safe and fun environment for college students to learn about healthy money habits. So the target is both college students with and without disabilities, and this collaborative does just that. It creates a collaborative environment in which students who have disabilities and students who don't have disabilities are working together to improve their financial knowledge and to support each other in building healthy money habits. It's a great initiative that is built school by school. So if you're on the line and you're connected to a college program that could benefit from such an initiative, we encourage you to reach out to us. It's always a great opportunity to connect not just students to financial skills, but also to help students do some peer-to-peer learning and to help college students with disabilities be able to give something back to college students without disabilities, and vice versa. Our MS Financial Wellness project is really it's a webinar series that we've been providing for almost 4 years now, and it targets individuals with MS, their caregivers, and MS service providers. Funded by Acorda Therapeutics, this financial wellness program has provided customized training to individuals with MS to help them understand the unique things that they need to know to build their own financial skills so that they can deal with some of the issues that they're going to face, such as decreased ability to work, meaning decreased earnings, the need to apply for public benefits such as Social Security, disability insurance, understanding how to balance work and medical needs, and of course saving for the future when they've been hit with this unexpected medical issue. So we are about to launch, you'll see it come through our network in the next month, a new e-learning course that was created with individuals with MS in mind and focuses on creating a zero balance budget. It's going to be a great tool for anybody to use, but it does address some of the issues that people with disabilities face when they have decreased earnings or they're trying to handle a medical issue while they're also trying to manage their finances. Some additional projects that we want to make you aware of are listed here. I'm going to highlight a few of them, ones that I think folks on the line could really get involved in and may have a desire to support. The first is called the American Dream Employment Network, and the American Dream Employment Network is a national initiative to help disability providers and other folks who are providing workforce services to be able to utilize the Social Security Administration's Ticket to Work program. So some of you on the line may feel excited when I say the Ticket to Work, and some of you on the line may think, oh, we went down that road and it really wasn't beneficial to us. So what we've done at NDI, because we believe that Ticket to Work can be a great tool for individuals who are seeking a return to work, is we've set up a network in which we take away all of the administrative burden of being a Ticket to Work employment network, allowing those of you on the line who provide workforce services to focus on what you do best, provide workforce services. So we've created a network with approval by the Social Security Administration to where you fall under our umbrella and are able to operate in providing workforce services. And in turn, we provide all of the backroom support that ticket requires, and we provide you with the payments as they're received from the Social Security Administration. 80% of the payment goes to the organization who provided the service, and 20% comes to NDI for providing the backroom support. So if you're on the line and you're interested in that, we hope you'll reach out to us. It's a great way for you to increase your revenue as a workforce service provider while doing some great work for folks with disabilities who are seeking a return to work. Another one I wanted to make you aware of is Community Ties. This is a new project for NDI, and it gives individuals access to a Community Ties network, which is an online portal that looks an awful lot like you're participating in a social networking project like Facebook or LinkedIn, but it's very unique in that it allows the person who owns the network to invite in only those people that they choose. It's secured, so nobody can find the individual should they do a Google search or other kind of search. But it allows me as the network owner and the individual with a disability to invite in my formal support, so I can invite in case managers, doctors, and other paid supports. And I can also invite in informal supports like family members, friends, and folks I know through other avenues, so that everybody can work together to help me achieve my goals. Everyone can stay on top of what I'm doing, and I have a very easy avenue to reach out to support for others. Included in the network is a vault, so I can keep any kind of files that I want multiple people to have access to, including, say, my employment plan, or if I'm somebody with complex medical needs, there might be a daily tracking of my meds or what service has been provided to me. It's a great service that we're just launching, and if you'd like more information, please reach out to us. We'd be very excited to talk to you about it. In North Carolina and Florida, we have projects with the developmental disability councils that are working very closely with on-the-ground providers to build the financial skills of individuals with disabilities, targeting individuals with developmental disabilities and their families. And these projects, it's just launching in North Carolina, but in Florida we've been doing work with the DD Council for multiple years now, and we're excited to be able to provide next month an online self-paced benefits training on SSI and SSDI and some financial stability tools that will be in Spanish. So this will be pretty much a first-of-its-kind chance for people who are native Spanish speakers to have access to high-quality Social Security benefits information in their native tongue. And again, it's going to be online, free, and self-paced, but it only really focuses on Florida benefits. So those of you on the line in other states, let's talk about how we can bring this to your state, but I want to be cautious that you remember that it's Florida benefits, which can be quite specific. As you can see, we have a host of projects that we offer. We're very excited at all times to be able to look at new projects and ways that we can support our partners all across the country, not only in the work that they're doing, but the grants that they're applying for, and how we might be able to bring our innovation and entrepreneurial spirit to your efforts. As Michael mentioned, if you want more information on the projects listed above, please do send an email to us at ask@ndi-inc.org, or you can always reach out to one of us, but this creates a way for us to track requests that are coming in from the network and make sure that we're responding in a timely manner. Just so you know, I think it's interesting that we have many people on staff with some significant deep content expertise, And so when you send in a TA request, we make sure that the individual with the best content expertise for that request is the one who receives it and is asked to respond to it. So that's why we ask you to use the ask@ndi-inc.org rather than just reaching out to any one of us. This way we can make sure that we are tracking you, we've got you to the person with the best content knowledge for the question that you asked, and we're able to respond in a timely manner. So thank you again for including me on today's webinar. I want to hand it back over to Michael Roush to answer some questions.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. So we do have several questions. Again, if you would like to ask a question, please send it in the chat box or the Q&A box. So the first question that we have is looking at if you wanted to provide financial education, literacy, and coaching services as a contractor consultant for individuals with disabilities, is this possible? If so, how would you go about doing this? Thank you for this question. There are a series of different trainings that an individual can go through if they would like to become certified to be able to provide financial counseling. One of those certifications would be through AFC, and I'm drawing a blank, AFCPE, yeah. And they provide, are a partner of ours, and they provide certification to be a certified financial counselor. Also, if you're already certified, there is an opportunity coming up that is open through the Armed Forces Services Corporation, and they are looking for opportunities for individuals to provide full-time provide financial coaching specifically to veterans as well as other vulnerable populations. They identify that. If you send me an email or send the email to ask@ndi-inc.org, I will forward the announcement that they had shared. The next question is for you, Elizabeth. Looking at the MS Financial Wellness Project, it mentioned a report. How do we access the report?
Sure. So I'll ask Nakia. She can put the report in the chat box while I answer that. But we launched the MS Financial Wellness webinar series by doing a survey with partners at MSAA, which is the MS Association of America. And we surveyed several hundred people with MS to better understand what their financial habits were and how they were doing with their finances since they had learned of their MS diagnosis. So we created the report, and we used that to inform the training that we would provide through the webinar series. Just as a side note, people with MS do fare worse, much worse after their diagnosis than before, and many individuals noted some of the same things we found in our Financial Capability of Adults with Disabilities report, and both of these reports are found on our REI website, our NDI website, realeconomicimpact.org. But what we found with both studies was that people fared worse than their non-disabled peers, and that people had a very hard time making ends meet each month. So if you ever want to talk to us about any of our reports, or go a little deeper, or talk about how we can share this with folks you're working with locally to try to make local level change, again, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to do that.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. So the next question is asking us to repeat the 5 key NDI strategies. So those 5 key strategies that we look at are benefits planning, public benefits, benefits planning and work supports. And we look at employment. We also look at free tax preparation services, as well as the access to the Earned Income Tax Credit or other favorable tax credits for persons with disabilities. We look at financial education, making sure that individuals are banked, have access to financial education, financial literacy, to trusted resources and networks as well. And then the fifth category that we look at is asset development, looking at those strategies that individuals can access. We also work on public policy. So we also say that's our sixth strategy. But the five key strategies that I had mentioned are those strategies. If you would like to learn more about the five key strategies and how they all work together to help build the financial wellness of an individual, please go to our website and access our January webinar recording. It's free for you to access, but you can access the recording there. And in that webinar, we go into greater detail about the five key strategies and different supports under each strategy. So please be sure to check out that webinar as well. And Nakia, would you be able to provide that link in the chat box? Okay. Oh, already did. So right or even question. All right, excellent. So the next question here is, this one would be for you again, Elizabeth. What opportunities are available to network members to become involved with the LEAD Center? So I guess he's asking, are there opportunities in the local level that they could become involved in?
That's great. Thank you so much for asking. So if you haven't joined our LEAD Center listserv, which you can join at leadcenter.org, please do so. We're going to be sending out opportunities as they arrive. We'll be doing a pilot on customized employment, which will offer local areas an opportunity to apply to be part of that pilot. So it would require putting together a small team at the local level who will then receive free training from Griffin Hammes and Associates on customized employment and discovery and using those tools in your local area. If you haven't joined our listserv, but that's really of interest to you, please do send us an email. I'll be happy to move that forward for you. We also provide, as I said, free training and technical assistance. And then as we are able to, we'd love to explore through the LEAD Center opportunities that folks have at the local level. If there's something you see fits into the realm of into the goals that we're trying to achieve through the LEAD Center and you'd like to reach out and explore it with us, we'd be happy to talk to you about it and see if it's something that we can work into a future LEAD Center work plan. And just as an FYI, we start working on our work plan in June for an October start, so please feel free to come forward and let us know if there's some initiative you'd like us to work on with you.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Again, I'd like to, we'll have to wrap things up as we're coming up towards the end of our hour here. What I'd like to do is that if you're not a part of the Real Economic Impact Network, I encourage you to sign up. You can do so on our website at realeconomicimpact.org, and then you'll click on REI Network up in the upper portion of our website. And then that will take you to the location where you can sign up to be a member. It will provide the information on how to be sign up to be a member, Real Economic Impact Network member as an individual. But if your organization is interested in signing up, then you can click on REI Network Partner on that page as well. So we encourage you to join this movement, be a part of this conversation, and have access to the various materials and resources that are available to help build the financial health of persons with disabilities. Again, if you're interested in being considered for one of the 2 spots for the advisory committee, please send your information to me, and then we will share that with the committee to be able to look at and review and consider. I'd like to remind you that our next webinar is on April 8th at 3 p.m. And this webinar, as I mentioned earlier, will be on defining financial well-being and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau will be sharing this information with us, as well as sharing some other tools and resources that they have available. They have some great tools that we can use and that we can distribute to individuals, to our staff, et cetera. And so we're going to be covering all of those different pieces on that particular webinar. I'd like to thank again my colleague Elizabeth Jennings for being on today's webinar and sharing some information on our different projects. I'd also like to thank Nakia Matthews, who, let's face it, I couldn't do my job day in and day out without Nakia Matthews, so I appreciate Nakia for all the work that you do. And I also thank each of you for the great work that you're doing to build a better economic future for persons with disabilities. We look forward to seeing you or talking to you on our April webinar, and we hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.